Why does my camera never want to focus? Anyway, hello, welcome back to the vlog. It is Tuesday at 3:11 in the afternoon. I just filmed a few videos. I did favorite graphic novels of the year, well, favorite graphic novels and comics, and then I did a what I read last week. But I wanted to get on here and talk to you guys about what I am reading and start off the vlog. I have so much that I have to do today. I have to edit those videos. I'm selling some books. If you guys saw my unhaul that I uploaded, or not uploaded, but was in the vlog last week. And then I need to go to the bank to put all of my cash in the bank. But I wanted to tell you guys what I'm going to be reading moving into this week, what you guys are going to see me kind of try to wrap up. First book that I'm reading is Summer of '69. I'll put a picture here on the screen for you. I'm really liking this. I think I kind of talked about it last week, but basically it's about a boy named Tiger who goes away to the Vietnam War, and the story follows a bunch of different perspectives, but I think the most obvious one would be his little sister. I think her name is Jessie, and their summer on Nantucket. But it also has a lot of family drama, which is something that I've been really into recently. I think maybe it's because I'm from a very dramatic family, but it is something that's really appealing to me. I think halfway through it. I stayed up pretty late last night reading it, even after my boyfriend went to bed. I was just reading this fucking book. I'm super hooked. Who is texting me? Rocco. Hello. But I am liking it, and I'm hoping I can finish it in the coming days, because there are a few other books that I got from the library, which are all over here on these two shelves, that I do want to get to. The other book that I'm reading that I will be finishing tonight, hopefully, I'm bringing this over to his house so we will see, is actually Wilder Girls. And I'm of the unpopular opinion that this book is fucking fantastic. I love this. I'm reading this with Meg, and we are having a lot of fun reading it. We've been communicating via Voxer, which I think is one of the best ways to communicate, because you can kind of be like, all right, I'm going to send you spoilers for the chapter that I just read, and you can listen to the audio. It's like a walkie-talkie that you can use to kind of talk about what you're reading, and it's a lot of fun. If you guys need a good buddy read partner, she's definitely the person to buddy read with. Fantastic. Fantastic. But we are still reading this, and I'm hoping tonight to finish it. I'm on page 150 on chapter 10. I think she's on chapter 15, so I do need to catch up, and we're going to try to finish it tonight. So we'll see if I'm able to get that done. But I love this book. I think that this book is, for me, a good blend of creepy, but also a lot of the complaints that I saw were people say they don't really like the characters because they don't connect with the characters, but I actually think that really works for this story, because it's supposed to be they have experienced something traumatic, and it's really hard to kind of maintain being a fucking human when something like that happens, and I think that's represented really well in this. So we'll see what I think of it when I am able to finish it. But for now, we're gonna go sell some books. We're gonna go sell some books, get some coffee, see what kind of cash we're able to get for them. I have a huge stack. I think I have 20 books over there, so we'll see what the payout for that is. It's never super high, but honestly, these books, for me, people are like, oh, I don't want to sell my books because I bought them, and that's such a waste of money. But for me, it's a waste of fucking shelf space, and that's so much worse for me than having books on my shelf that I don't want to read, as opposed to selling them for actual cash to buy more books or buy food, or you know what I mean? Why? What's with the disconnect? I don't know. Maybe I'm just strange. But that's gonna be it for this update. I will see you guys a little bit later. I have so much shit that I have to do. Got my big ass bag of books to sell. We are ready and on our way. I am so ready for Starbucks today.
Thank you for choosing Starbucks. What can I get started for you today?
Hi, can I get a venti decaf flat white?
Yeah, anything else?
Nope, that's it.
I'll be ready for you at the window.
Thank you. I've never been so excited for coffee in my entire life. Oh, I don't know if you can see me, but I just got out of the gym. I am getting ready to go pick up Rocco to go to the store to go get groceries to make dinner. I'm thinking I want to make tacos. We'll see what he wants to make. Sorry, I'm out of breath. But this is day 3 of the last week of going to the gym, so I think I'm doing a pretty good job so far. Anyway, that's where I'm headed, so wish me luck. I don't necessarily know what we're gonna get or what we're gonna cook, but hopefully I'll be able to vlog a little bit of it. I don't know. Really, right now, all I want to do is get there, go to the store, go back home, take a shower, and then sit on the couch and play Halo. So we'll see what I actually do. I have my book with me because I'm supposed to be finishing it, but we'll see if I'm actually able to finish it tonight. But either way, I'll see you guys a little bit later. So it looks like I lost all of my vlog footage, well, most of my vlog footage from last week. So a lot of what I'm talking about in this vlog is not going to really make sense, but I just wanted to pop on here and say that I have a little bit of thoughts on what I'm reading in this vlog, some things that we did last week, but a lot of it is gone. Like my unhaul that I filmed is completely gone. A couple of other like sit down things are gone. I'm really sorry, but I'm trying to do my best. Like I can't get them back. That's just the harsh reality of it. I cannot get the footage back, but I did still want to upload the little bits that I do have. So yeah, if anything is kind of jumbled and doesn't really make sense, I'm sorry, but we're just gonna keep it moving, I guess.
Traveling the mountains just to find the loudest seas. We set down by the fire, knowing we could aim higher, but we didn't know that yet. So if you want something to hold on to, gotta find it first. But here I am, 'cause I've been laying under palm trees waiting for the summer, knowing there's nowhere to go. 'Cause I am happy on this island, wanna be my farmland. I don't ever want to leave, I'm in a tropic club.
Well, hello and good morning. It is Friday. I don't remember the last time I updated you. I've had a busy couple of days. I went to bed at 4 o'clock in the morning last night, even though I had to get up at 10 o'clock in the morning because I have been so busy with, I'm working on some stuff. I'm doing a bit of rebranding and trying to work on, I don't know, like cohesiveness. That's like a theme that I wanted to put into 2020. I've been working on thumbnails and just like design for stuff and putting a lot of forethought into videos, because what you guys don't know is a lot of my videos, I'm like, okay, this is what I want to film, but when it comes down to filming it, I don't write anything out. I don't like pre-plan a whole lot. Favorites videos are a little bit different because I do need to, you know, sort of sort through my lists or whatever, but that's basically what I've been doing for the last 2 days. I'm just really paying attention to that. But I do have some updates because I did finish quite a few books. I finished Summer of '69, which was a lot more interesting than I thought it was going to be. I did give it 3 stars because I wouldn't read it again, and there were a few things I felt like kind of took away from the story, but overall I thought it was really interesting. I think learning from like Jessie's perspective and her mom's perspective and both of her sisters was really interesting to me, because there's a lot of themes that run throughout the book, like obviously the war, but there is a lot of feminism because, like I said, it is the summer of '69, which is back when a lot of like civil rights movements for women were happening, and that is really addressed in this. And then obviously there is like a lot of a movement for like Black people during the time as well, like being able to vote, and there's a lot of like nods to Martin Luther King, and one of the sisters, Kirby, is actually getting into like civil rights activism, so that was really cool. The other oldest sister is more so like her mom in the sense of like married and having children and trying to do the traditional thing, but also fighting to be able to go back to school and become a professor like her husband. And so there's a lot of themes, especially with Jessie, like growing up, and she's 13 and she's learning, you know, new lessons. There's just some really interesting topics handled in this, especially like Jessie does have like a theft problem. She does steal a lot. Her mom, obviously, I don't want to tell you exactly like what her overall story was because it's really important to the story, but there's some stuff that happens with her, and I don't know, it was just really interesting. But like I said, some stuff took away from it. I think at times there were too many perspectives, too much jumping around, and a little bit of too much repetitiveness, but I would be interested to read something else by that author. The other book that I finished is, you guessed it, Wilder Girls, and I gave this 4 stars because I love this book. Now, I gave it 4 stars for one specific reason, and that would be the ending and a little bit of, I wanted a little bit more information on the talks. Now, because I lost my footage from last week, I don't know how much I have spoken about with this book, but basically it's about this island and it's a school. It's sort of like a reformatory in a way, I think, is kind of the vibe that I was getting from it, but they are cut off from the rest of the world basically because there is this thing called the talks, is what they name it, that is taking over a lot of the, you know, every single girl at the school, including like any of the men that were on the island died. Any of the older women are affected, but not like the younger girls, and they are basically growing new spines, and one girl loses an eye, another girl grows like a silver hand, and it's akin to Jeff Vandermeer. And Jeff Vandermeer writes a lot of, I would say, like not horror, but definitely like suspenseful-ish novels about plants. Like the first book that I read is Annihilation, and that's an entire series, and it's very reminiscent of that. But I like this a whole lot more. And I know a lot of people's complaints were that they don't connect with the characters, which I don't really see, because I think the trauma that the girls have gone through have kind of made them that way, and it adds to the atmosphere of the story. Now, I wouldn't say it's necessarily a horror story, but there are some definitely horrific elements to it. So for me, it was a stronger YA book than I think a lot of what I've read recently. My other downside, like I said, was the ending. The ending is incredibly abrupt, which is probably why people don't like it. I can understand the appeal of endings like that. Like, I didn't necessarily hate it, but because it ended so abruptly, I feel like I wanted more information on like the characters and, you know, what was going to happen to them. But that's just me wanting closure. But also, I don't really think that we get a good sense of like what the talks is and necessarily why it's there, why it's existing. You get a little bit, but not enough, I don't feel like. But I have since moved on to a few other books. I'm currently reading, what's it called? I'll put a picture here on the screen. I'm currently reading this. I think it's Women Speak. But it is about a Mennonite group of women who are having these dreams, and in the dreams they're being hurt by what they think is like demons, and come to find out other girls in the community are having the same dream, and it is because there are actually men, 7 or 8 men in the community that are raping. They're basically using anesthetic on these women to put them to sleep, to keep them asleep once they fall asleep, to then have advantage with them. And the book, like, you know that that's what happens immediately. Like that whole part of the book is laid out. The rest of the book so far, I'm about 25% of the way through, is about the girls and the women, because every woman in this this society that they're in is affected by this. Everyone has experienced it. It's about them trying to figure out if they should do nothing and forgive them, run away, or stay and fight. So it's a lot of dialogue between the characters trying to figure out necessarily what they want to do. They are illiterate, so they have a character who was once in their community and then was excommunicated because I forget what they did, but their parents, I guess, were showing, they found books, like art books, and his dad did, and then they were excommunicated for that, and then he eventually went to prison, and then he was homeless, and he was discovered by this librarian one day, and she was like, well, you should go back to your people. So he did, and he was asked by one of the women involved to basically become a scribe for them. So it is really interesting. It's told from a very interesting perspective. The only thing I don't like about it so far is the writing style is a bit weird. It honestly reminds me of the Bible with like so-and-so, daughter of so-and-so. Like it's written very interestingly, but so far I am really interested by it. It's definitely, I think, a book that will impact me. It's already been like very hard to read at times, because obviously the content of it is a little bit like, holy shit, but I am liking it. I am reading a couple of other comics and graphic novels right now, which I'll talk to you guys about probably today, depending on how many of them I actually finish. I'll try to sit down and give you guys another update when I get home, but I did just want to pop on and tell you like what I've been reading and what's been going on for the last couple of days. But I'm gonna get off here and go back to work. But yeah, that is basically what I've read in the last 72 hours. Good morning and happy Sunday. It has been a few days since I've updated you. My life is a mess as it normally is on the weekends, but I wanted to talk to you guys about what I read because I'm wrapping up the vlog at a very inconvenient time. It is Sunday afternoon, and I know tomorrow I have a lot of things planned, and normally I carry the vlogs on until Monday, but I'm trying to get back into putting them up on Monday instead of putting them up on Wednesday. Monday seems to be like the vlog day for a lot of people, for a lot of creators, so that's what I'm trying to stick to. But basically I read two things like through and through. I'll put a picture here on the screen for you. I read a Harley Quinn comic that DC actually sent me, and I wouldn't say it's my favorite. I gave it 3 stars. I like the reimagining of Harley Quinn. It definitely sticks to the fact that she is a psychopath but also has like a good soul, because I think Harley sort of does. And there was a little bit of Ivy, or who I think is going to become Ivy, and I actually really like it because she was black in this comic book, which I appreciated. But not my favorite. Definitely still very weird. There was a lot of, I don't know, just things that didn't like feel right to me in a way. Like I do like the representation. Like I said, there's a black character who plays Ivy, and then the people who kind of take in Harley when she first moves to Gotham is like this big group of super gay like drag queens, and it made me really happy. They were probably my favorite characters in the entire thing. I didn't like Joker, the Joker villain that they have in this. I didn't really like it, but I will say the ending of the book has me interested to read the next one, which kind of excited for. The other thing that I read that I really liked, and I borrowed this from the library on a whim, but I did order a copy of it and it arrived to my house this morning, but it'd be Blackbird. And this follows our main character Nina, and she is attacked one night. There's like an earthquake, but there was like this giant beast that showed up that, you know, everybody could see, but everybody's memories were kind of wiped, but only she could really remember them. And basically there is magic within LA where she lives, and there's like this undercover, underground kind of society of people who are able to do magic. And that's really what this follows, is like the first volume of it. I believe this is the first 4 issues in one, but I loved this. The art style is phenomenal. The story is phenomenal. I love the characters. I am really blown away by this. I've seen some mixed reviews, but I guess I'm one of the few people that did really like it. So like I said, I did end up purchasing it because I would like to collect them as they come out. The one thing that I really, really love about it, even though the story is incredibly interesting, I do really love the art style. I think the art style is phenomenal, and I'd love to like pick up some actual art from this artist. I don't necessarily know how expensive it would be, and I think more so she does like a lot of comic work and stuff, so I think that just collecting her comics would be nice. But the other thing that I read, or am reading, I'm on page 250, I think. I started it last night, of Sufficiently Advanced Magic. I'll put a picture here on the screen for you like I always do. This is a fantasy novel, and it follows our main character Caden, I think is his name. Is it? You think I'd remember, but I don't. I'm terrible with names, so I'm sorry. But in his society, there are people who are able to do certain types of magics, and you get an attunement, which is something like a specific type of magic to you. But the way that you get it is there's this tower that everybody goes into when they are of a certain age, and they have to make it through the tower. And then if they make it, they get to become attuned and are given, not necessarily by choice, but sort of like what they're just like destined to get by the tower itself. They're like blessed. And then after that, they go away to a school. Well, his older brother goes into the tower and doesn't come back. Well, Caden, the first part of the book is him going into the tower and the battles that he faces and coming out, and then he is sent away to school. Now, a lot of the book is about like gods in their world, but they're not really gods. They're just, the way I'm interpreting it is they are people with a lot of attunements who are basically treated as gods, but they are sort of gods at the same time because they're given power in that way. But I really like this. A lot of it is about his schooling and trying to get down to, because when he's in the tower, he releases 3 people, one of which is a man who ends up being incredibly powerful, which he finds out later is a heretic who's speaking out against the gods because he realizes the gods aren't necessarily who we think they are, and that they shouldn't be worshipped in a way. And then the other one is a woman that he releases who ends up running away, like betraying him basically, and is like, don't follow me, because there's a younger boy that he also lets out of what you find out is a jail cell, and she takes that boy and she runs. So he's trying to figure out exactly what's going on. He gets roped into a lot of stuff. His mom is a really powerful, basically war general, and she is not around anymore because she left like 5 or 6 years ago and took like her, you know, the people who worked for her when she left. And so he's been left with his dad, and his dad is basically a giant piece of shit. But a lot of the book is like schooling, like learning how to do magic, learning, they call it magic, but it's not really magic in a way. It's like spells, but not really. Like they emphasize that a lot in the book. I think it's pretty interesting, the magic system. I wouldn't say it is the most revolutionary that I've ever heard, but it is really cool because they're able to scar themselves if they use too much. They're able to draw mana from different parts of their body. Each part of their body has like a rating on how much mana is available, and each attunement that they have draws mana from a different place. So I'm actually really liking it. Another thing that I really like, aside from the school setting, which isn't one of my favorites, but is actually kind of cool in this book, is the protagonist is actually really funny. And then like all the supporting characters are also really like sassy, and that's definitely something that I can approve of and get behind, because those are some of my favorite kind of characters. But yeah, I'm not too far. I'm like 250 of like 650 pages. I think I'm gonna try to finish it tonight or tomorrow, so hopefully what I fully think of it will be in next week's wrap up, but we'll see if I'm able to like get it in. Well, it'll be in Wednesday's wrap up. That's usually when my wrap ups go up. So we'll see, but so far I am really liking it. I do want to purchase the books because I just have a feeling that it's going to be a series that I do really enjoy, which is kind of daunting because I'm one of those people that's like, I don't want to get into Brandon Sanderson because his shit is very extensive. And yet here I am reading fantasy books that are like 600 to 800 pages. I'm like, bitch, just pick up Brandon Sanderson. But he's one of those authors that's super intimidating to me because like, what if I don't like him? Because everybody else really fucking loves him. But I don't know. We'll see. But that is what I've read this weekend. I'm not going to be reading anything else other than possibly finishing this book tonight or tomorrow. So there's not really anything else to update you guys on. But I am going to pick up the vlog again tomorrow and just start anew. So vlogs will be going up on Mondays now, hopefully. I got a lot to do tomorrow. I'm like, I don't know, I'm trying to create a very like calming space for me in my office. So we'll see if I can do that, like my office / bedroom. But yeah, just like a lot of things I have to do tomorrow. I'm gonna try to vlog it as much as I can, but that'll be in next week's vlog. But that's why I'm ending the vlog here, because I just know that tomorrow is gonna be crazy and I'm not gonna have time to edit. So I want to edit this tonight when I get home so it can be up tomorrow. But I hope you guys had a good week. I hope you enjoyed this vlog. Yeah, just a lot of stuff. Like we went bowling and that was really fun, and we went to a class yesterday morning and made terrariums, like tropical terrariums, and that was really cool. They're like closed terrariums, not open ones, and I learned a lot. And it's because my roommate and I are wanting to turn, we have a big fish tank, and we're wanting to turn that into a giant terrarium. So we wanted to, I got him these tickets for Christmas, him and my boyfriend, and then my boyfriend got me a ticket because he was like, well, you have to fucking come. So now we're all just gonna turn our fish tank into a giant terrarium. So hopefully, I don't know, we're able to do that. But yeah, that's why I haven't been vlogging. I've just been really busy and just sleeping when I can, and haven't really had the most opportune time to vlog. But I hope you guys enjoyed this anyway. I love you a lot, and I'll see you in Wednesday's video.